And we are live. Welcome, everybody, to the first official F45 Highgate Squadcast.
Hey, Tommy.
My name is Tommy. Hello, Paul. Hello, David.
Hello.
And welcome. How are we both? David?
I'm great. I am very, very well. That's a lie. I'm a little bit hungover. Had a few too many drinks last night in my own home. And now I've got to go through this podcast. So, yes.
There you go. Paul?
Yeah, good form, thanks. Good form. Sunday afternoon and had a day off exercise today. Feeling a bit sore and a bit stiff after 6 days solid of doing the live Instagram workouts. Yesterday was a killer.
That'll do it for you. That'll do it. 6 days in a row will get anyone achy. I was actually the same. So I think we've pretty much all had a rest day today, which is very much in need. So before we get into today's discussions about what is F45, for all the viewers to understand why we're here, why we're doing what we do, let's get into a little icebreaker, shall we? So I want to understand, let's start with Paul. What are you wearing today, Paul?
What am I wearing? I'm wearing what I think is a rather fetching white F45 shirt. Look, it's a proper shirt, fits quite nicely. I've got, I'm standing up for that one. Got the old jeans on and
fully dressed.
Look at these little babies here, the sleeping bags for your feet. North Face slippers.
They are fantastic. Cozy. David, can you beat the sleeping bags for feet?
No, I can't. I'm barefoot.
There you go.
I've got some.
It's a very dirty looking sock, David.
I've got a tattoo on my foot. I've got some Gymshark tracksuit bottoms on and living, breathing, wearing the brand as always. F45, baby.
There you go. Well, it wouldn't be fair if I didn't show myself. So I'm just wearing a very standard t-shirt, but actually very embarrassingly. So I used to work for West Ham United for my sins. I'm wearing the West Ham United trackies, of which I've tried to pick off the badge, and I've also been wearing the full tracksuit all day. And
head to toe.
I know. I once wore this down Kilburn High Street, and I got abused from locals, thinking that I was, in fact, a West Ham player that just lost 1-0 to Crystal Palace. And I thought,
you forever blowing bubbles, Tom.
Exactly, yeah. I thought that's the last day I'm wearing that out of the house. So, what I want to ask you chaps today is a little bit about F45. So for me personally, I first discovered F45 a couple of years ago in Australia. I just saw there was a free trial down the road, and I went to a place in Brunswick, Melbourne, and I did the 2-week free trial, and I was sweating every single day. I was blown away by the training, but it was the first time I'd heard of it. So Paul, why don't you start by telling us the first time you came across F45, and therefore what made you want to start your own F45 and bring it into the wonderful area of Highgate?
Oh, crikey, now there's a question. So where did I first come across it? So we were living in Singapore at the time, and we drove past the street, and there was a tiny little shop house, it was called, and had this F45 sign on the top of it, and used to see some pretty buff looking people going in, and then we used to see these people coming out in bucketfuls of sweat, and thought, what is that place? So anyway, Lisa, my darling wife, managed to get into it and tried it out, and she hated all things gyms, personal trainers, any kind of fitness, spinning, yoga, hot yoga, you name it. She tried it, hated it with a passion. So she started this for a couple of days, and she told me, and I was like, yeah, here we go. And she kept going and kept going and kept going, and she still goes 6 days a week. A year and a half she's been going 6 days a week religiously. So she persuaded me to give it a go, and I did, and I soon got really hooked on it and absolutely loved it. What it is, other than Kylie Minogue, it's one of the best things to come out of Australia recently. It's a franchise business, so there's a number of individual studios around the world, about 2,000 around the world now, and F45 came up with highly innovative, changing every day workouts that are based on a combination of very functional moves, combination of interval training, cardiovascular and resistance-based training, just changes every single day, different workout. To turn up in the day, you don't quite know what you're going to get, and you go in, you do 45 minutes, blitz it out, and you're done for the day. Absolutely fantastic. And for me, the core bit was it gets significant results. I got amazing results. The people that I've seen going there got incredible results. it's hard work, but you do it to music. You have a lot of fun. The trainers provide some great energy. You give all kinds of high fives at the end of it, and absolutely addictive. And after years and years and years in the corporate world, I thought, that's more what I want to do. That seems like fun. Why don't we do that? And the idea was, let's set up our own studio a bit closer to your home, so I didn't have to travel with my suit and all my kit in every day. And we can have our own place to go and work out in every day. Hence the reason that we set up just on the doorstep of Gospel Oak by Hampstead Heath entrance. So just a shame now that it got closed down for the interim. Can't wait until we open and we can go in and do our workouts there.
Likewise, I bet you are chomping at the bit to get in there properly. Obviously, we did those few sessions while we were testing out the gear. We were loving it, but
they were epic, weren't they?
They were indeed, but they were just a taste of what's to come. And Mr. David, so you're obviously a bit of a gym goer over the years. What made you turn to F45 as your primary focus?
It's a funny one. So for people watching this, Tommy and I used to work at O2 together, a corporate business, and I swore to never go near a corporate again. I set up on my own, wanted to work for myself. But like you, I tried F45 out probably 3 years ago now. I was doing reviews of London fitness classes, and F45 was the one that stuck out for me. I did used to go to Hollywood like more than any of the other ones. I've done a lot more Hollywoods than other classes, but I just think it's a great way to come in, find a community, you get a really, really good workout in. And people say F45 stands for functional 45, but I say it stands for flipping out. That was a very hard workout. So I've toned that down for this Squadcast. Take the F as whatever you will. But no, it's just a really good workout for me. I think it's very in line with the type of training that I do. I swear by HIIT training or intensity training. I've got a slight variation on it, but I just think it's a great way to come in, not have to think about anything. All the workouts are programmed for you. And personally, after I took this job, I went out to LA to go and see HQ, and it just gave me so much reassurance about how the sessions are programmed. It's all done so properly. And yeah, I'm absolutely buzzing to be part of it again now. So I've had to swallow my own words and yeah, go back to the corporate, but I absolutely love it.
No, I've got to say,
the whole community thing is massive for me, because I think a lot of the time when I go into the gym, I just want to get in, get my head down and get out. Whereas with this, you can get in, not get your head down because you're around loads of people. It's a great energy buzz about it, and you're still in and out well within an hour. So perfect.
I think that's a great point, because that was one of the things I found when I was over in Australia. I was in a CrossFit for a while, and I think that community aspect was really great for me. It's something I really enjoyed. So that leads us nicely on to another topic of question for yourself, Paul. And obviously the community is something that F45 talk about that is really important to them as a global community, but also individually for each of those studios. So for our studio in particular in Highgate, what do you see are the most important parts that our community is going to be focused around, and therefore what can our members expect to get as real benefit as being part of the community, rather than, as David says, just any old gym that is just a big corporate?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I love the idea of having our own studio close to where we live. And we do the workout, we kind of sweat it out, and we come out of the studios on our hands and knees after a really, really tough workout with a group of other people. And then somewhere during the week, you know, you're at the supermarket, you're walking down the high street, you're walking along Hampstead Heath, and you see someone else, and you're like, you know, there's that person that I seen doing bench hops, or, you know, was doing squat presses or something together with us, I think is really, really nice. And so it seems to have played through with the over 1,000 people that signed up for various kinds of trials and memberships with us. It's very sad that we haven't been able to open just yet, but 80 to 90% of them all live within, you know, 20, 30 minutes walk, I understand. Really, really close by, all the tube stations very close to us. So it really is going to be a very local community of people. For me, the key bit that I've enjoyed and that I like in the community, that I hope other people will enjoy when they come into the studio, I always felt very intimidated going to the gym. As you can see, I'm not a very, very big guy. And it always intimidated me going in and seeing some big beefcakes and people lifting, you know, ridiculously heavy weights, and I would like be scared off by it. So I'd go and find a treadmill. I would do 20 minutes on a treadmill because that's all that I knew. didn't really know what else to do in the gym and felt a bit scared away. So we'll go and do that, do maybe 10 minutes of a stretch and then go and shower and head off to work. And that was about the height of it. Whereas I think in this one, what's great is you can turn up, you can choose to talk to people or not, but just to be surrounded by a lot of other like-minded people, some fitter, some not as fit as you, some bigger, some smaller than you. And all you got to do is when you stand on the blue track, you follow what the trainers are describing. And then when you start in your station, you just follow what the guy on the TV screen is doing. It's as simple as that. You can't go much wrong. And at the end of it, doing the high fives, when you've busted yourself, you've given all that you can, and everyone around you is giving high fives, and trainers come and say, good job. And you know that time after time that you are progressing, that you're getting stronger and fitter and more flexible. To me, that is just immensely satisfying.
It's great as well in that sort of group environment when you can see other people progressing as well. You obviously, as you say, you'll get to know the people that you're doing the bench shops with, and you'll start to push yourself and challenge yourself against people. And whilst it's great, it pushes you, it's also quite nice and rewarding to see other people grow. And that for me is the main difference with group classes versus in the gym. I find in the gym, everyone's against each other. As you say, you feel intimidated, or you feel there's some real like ego maniacs in there, and everyone hates each other. It's like, how long have you got on that bench? Because I need that bench and I want those dumbbells. In a group class like this, it's the opposite, isn't it? It's like, I want you to have the heavier weight now. I want you to push yourself.
Yeah, some of the fun I've had is when you're doing ice skaters and you're doing it, you know, two or three people at the same station, and then you invariably try to do it in sync with people, and like that's great fun. Exactly. Try to kind of sync up with the person that you're doing it with, no matter how fit or big or small that they are. So you can find ways of interacting, engaging, maybe competing with each other.
A little bit like we tried this week on those lives, hey, David? Synchro where we can. And David came. If you didn't see it, on what day was it? Saturday we did the trainer challenge workout, and yeah, I think David beat me on 4 out of the 5.
It was 5 out of the 6.
5 out of the 6. There you go. Oh, we drew the plank. You can't beat me on a plank.
No, I was looking at the corner of my eye. I'm not going down until Tommy goes. I did like 61 seconds. I'm so competitive.
If anybody watches that back, by the way, I have to say Tommy's sound effects on that, particularly in the plank, was just incredible. Well worth the watch, if nothing else, for that.
I'm gonna have to watch it back, aren't I? Although I'm not going to enjoy that. Anywho, David, as head trainer at F45, the community aspect is obviously going to be important to you. It's going to be something you're going to have a bit of a great influence on in terms of how your trainers behave and what we do to try and lift the mood and keep the spirits high. What fun things have you got lined up for the trainers to get engaged with, but also for our members to dive in head first and have a good giggle about?
Oh, so I think first of all, obviously this is massively about community, as we've just said here. And I think we're going through a bit of a hard time at the moment. We're all restricted to our houses. There's not a lot of movement. So I think like focusing on that community, there's so much we can do. And I think it's testament to us guys working hard behind the scenes. We've looked at how we can do these Zoom Squadcasts. We want to get people involved in this. Basically, I think the way I live my life is that things are hurdles, not roadblocks, and you can't do them. So there's always ways of working around it. But yeah, as some of the stuff that we talked about, Tommy, like we want to do a karaoke session in F45 on a Saturday. So we'll take one of the stations out and we'll replace it with a karaoke, or we'll get a DJ in there, or fancy dress. There's all sorts of stuff, but I'm just massively keen on people working out safely first and foremost, and then having fun. And I think testament again to all the trainers that we've got on board, we've got very knowledgeable people who can absolutely do that, but also it's all about personality as well. So we've got big characters in the team who can sort of bring that to life. So it's making my job easy because there's all so much about them, and they've got the knowledge on top of that as well. So I just think we're creating an environment, and again, it's been massively helped with Paul's outlook on this. We're trying to help people progress, whether that's our members, our team of trainers, whoever. It really is sort of like an incubator for everyone just being their best self, whether that's fitness related or something else. It's just a strong, powerful community of all these people together who just really want other people to succeed as well. So I think, yeah, I mean, I'm just absolutely buzzing to be working in this sort of an environment, and hopefully it rubs off on everybody, from our members to our team members to Paul as the owner, everybody really.
I'm sure it will. So obviously the studio as we know, isn't open yet. And we've been doing some online classes last week. So for those of the guys that are watching this that have joined those online classes last week, firstly, thank you very much. We genuinely are grateful for that because it kept us accountable. It got us out of bed every day. It gave us something to do and push ourselves. So thank you for joining. We hope you enjoyed it. Going forward from next week, we've got a couple of new packages, I believe, Paul. Maybe you can summarize the two of these. Hopefully people have seen the emails and the Instagram post, I think there was. But very briefly, package 1 versus package 2, what's the real benefit of those two options that we've got for our members?
Yeah, so we had to close the studio. So what we tried to do is to take the workouts and the community aspects out of the studio into an online capability. And not everyone will want exactly the same thing. Some people aren't able to join the live interactive events that we're going to have. So we provided a platform and a login to an F45 challenge app or the website, where you can get on-demand playbacks of the workout at home for the day, where you see Corey George, which is the guy in the blue t-shirts on the TV screen doing the workouts, and he'll talk you through exactly in an F45 style. You can pretend that you're on the blue track, and he will talk you through the workout and do the demonstrations. He'll then talk you through and help you through the warm-up, exactly as you would in studio. And then he'll take you through the workout of the day, and it's all body weight exercises, and you'll hear all the usual buzzers for the timing and the different sets, takes you up to the hydration breaks, all those kind of things. You'll hear Corey giving some motivational tips. It's got music in there. You can decide whether music is to your taste or not, but it's a good 45-minute session. It's all body weight. Don't need any weights, any other props, just a little bit of space in your living room or your bedroom, and you can get your sweat on for 45 minutes and then you're done. And of course you can play that, pause it, stop it as you like, as what's going on in your life, as you get exhausted and need a little bit more of a breather. You can do that on demand. And in that website or in the app, there's loads of other great information. I mean, there's great nutritional information. There is the menu for the day that F45 is promoting. There's a recipe list. There's some videos in terms of how to do the cooking. There's a whole database of these really healthy but very tasty nutritional plans. There's a daily accountability plan. There's motivational information. There's blogs, etc., etc. So really good stuff in there, and that's only £45 a month. So what's that? £1.60, less than the price of a coffee per day to get access to that. So that's pretty cool.
Very nice.
The other one that I'm very excited about is you can recreate the in-studio F45 community by joining live interactive workouts, 8 a.m. and 12:30 p.m. on a Monday to Friday every day. So accountability, regularity will be there each and every day at those times, also on a Saturday at 10:30 a.m. And other members will be coming in to do the workout. And just like here, if a member so decides to come in, they will see David, for example, doing that. They'll see other members doing the workout, pushing themselves, if they so choose to have their video on. They'll see the trainers, and the trainers will see them, and the trainers will be barking out the orders and helping to give motivation and helping to drive us all on. And we'll have a different workout every day, but it's that real live interaction at a time that we're all stuck, you know, from home doing conference calls and video calls from, you know, the living room, dining table, or bedroom, or from wherever it is that you choose, and you tend not to see a lot of people. It's really nice to see people doing what you're doing, working pretty hard, getting kind of burnt from that exercise. So you do get that live interaction, and you can chat back and forward. You'll also get access into our Facebook closed group, where you'll also get access to these Squadcasts. So we'll do a whole bunch of these, and there'll be some interesting topics. There'll be topics that'll entertain, that might outrage, that might entertain, might educate you.
What's this one?
You can play them back. We'll have some live sessions, some live Q&As. You can challenge us, question us. ask us to do some crazy things. You can interact with other members and kind of share stories and ideas on the Facebook closed group. So we'll take that where we want to take it, but really that live interactive premium online membership is £98 a month. So what's that, £3.50 a day? It isn't really an awful lot, but you get that real interactive engagement piece going on, and you help to shape what we're doing on a day-to-day, week-to-week, month-to-month basis with this online community.
There you go. Sounds fantastic.
Where do I sign up?
Exactly. Genuinely, I'm very much looking forward to it.
You haven't signed up already? God, I was obviously the first one to sign up.
Anything to add on that, Mr. David? Anything in particular there that excites you, that you're looking forward to getting involved in?
About the home workout stuff?
Yeah.
I just think more than ever, it's so important for us, as Paul said, to get that regularity, the routine. I think if you're looking at good things to come out of this, it's a change in our mindset. And I think I've been guilty of it in the past. I've gone to the gym to look a certain way. But I think switching it on its head and exercising for the mental health benefits, exercising for that regularity, exercising to be part of a community and have something in common with somebody else. Like I'm with my housemate all day, every day now. And it's good to be able to just get away from that into a group of people who have got a common interest. We're all working out for the same reason. I just think that's excellent. It's good for me, as you said, Tommy. We've all had a purpose to wake up for every day. I know people are struggling, but by getting exercise into your daily routine, it's absolutely amazing. And we've said it every single day this week. Win the morning, win the day, get your mind right. And yeah, you're obviously benefiting your health, which is massively important now. I want to boost our immune system. Immune systems. Boosting our immune systems, which again is only going to help hopefully prevent us getting ill. I don't want to say the dreaded word. But yeah, I just think it's so important now, and I'm really, really happy to be part of it.
Totally agree. And so for people like myself that are wanting to maintain a little bit of muscle in this time, obviously that's going to be tricky. I personally do have a couple of weights set up here. I know there'll be other people that either do have weights or are trying to get hold of weights. What can we do as part of our program as well to help people like that? Like, will we be doing any exercises outside of the body workouts that F45 are putting on for us, where we can, give some tips and small exercises to tack on the end of a bodyweight session with those weights? Is that something that you'd like to get going for us?
Yeah, absolutely. And I think the reason we put these two membership options together is, one, so we can reach a mass audience. We know that exercise is going to benefit a lot of people, and we can give out that standardized exercise routine, which is going to benefit people. It's so hard for us to put on private sessions for people not knowing what equipment they have. But when you buy into that online membership, what you're getting there is you're getting access to our trainers, you've got our knowledge, and you've got that one-to-one interaction. Obviously, we do sleep, it's not 24/7, but there's enough of us in the team. Should you have any questions, we can go back to you. So if it is you've got a kettlebell at home, don't tell Paul I've taken a couple of kettlebells from the studio. If you do have pieces of equipment at home, we can definitely be there to help you. But I think, as I said earlier, we need to change our mindset. F45 at-home workouts are absolutely fantastic for getting ourselves moving, boosting our mental and physical health, but there's no substitute from putting weighted work into your program. So this is a good substitute. We're doing what we can with what we've got available. But as soon as the studio's open, I think it'll be a race between us three to see who can get in there first.
Absolutely. So, yeah. You took the grey kettlebells, didn't you, David? We know it was you. I've got one black one at home just to showcase myself, but I don't know what to do with it. We do the kettlebell swings. You soon get bored of that, so I'd really look forward to seeing what else we can do with a black kettlebell.
Oh, absolutely. There's a lot you can do with it, and I think so. There's actually three mechanisms for building muscle. A lot of the time we think lifting as heavy as we can, so mechanical tension. If, for those people listening, you want to sort of maintain as much size as possible, you just want to go for volume. So you can create metabolic stress by putting loads of volume through your muscles. So just because we don't have access to those weights, it just means we've got to change up our training a little bit. And it's little things like that we can definitely post in the group. Loads of knowledge bombs. We've got enough trainers around us who've got enough knowledge in them. We can share that, yeah, but we can definitely sort you out that black kettlebell.
There were some big words there, David. Where did you learn those?
He has Google open on the screen.
University of Life.
I was going to say, I don't remember those in the O2 days when we were staring at a presentation screen with blank faces, not knowing what to say. Anywho,
mechanical tension, metabolic stress, and muscle damage. I'm very surprised I can do that on a hangover. There you go.
Exactly.
There are the three mechanisms of building muscle.
The tongue twisters.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's begin to wrap this up, and we'll get on to some exciting topics later in the week. But before we go, bodyweight workouts. Let's see. I want to know your least favorite bodyweight workout we've done in the week. So individual exercise, and your least favorite and your favorite. David, let's start with you. What was your least favorite bodyweight work we did this week?
I don't like stuff that I'm not good at. And the broad jump forward and reverse just absolutely had me buckled. I was like, what? I can't work it out. The jump forward was fine, but the jump backwards, I could do like a pathetic jump, and it was just not good for me. My favourite one, though...
and demonstrate it.
And demonstrate it, right. Can you see me?
I
like the lateral shoot-throughs.
Oh, there you go.
Whoa!
Oh, look at the stack of protein in that living room there.
You got a little side business going on there, Tommy.
Look at that. He does, doesn't he?
Yeah.
Right then, Paul, what about you? What was your favourite and your least favourite?
Funnily enough, I was going to say my least favourite was those bloody lateral shoot-throughs. I usually like those, but after hammering out all those bloody press-ups, my arms were absolutely shattered afterwards. I had nothing in them. So lateral shoot-throughs was definitely my least favourite. Most favourite, of course, is ice skaters. Love the old ice skaters. I was trying to compete with Lisa, though Lisa's way faster than I am. So, I was trying to compete with her in the ice skaters, but couldn't keep up.
He's got the rhythm. She's got the rhythm. Well, my favourite, even if you weren't going to ask, I'll tell you, was the Tommy that we talked about. I think it was the shuffles with the lateral raises. You can't really see what I'm doing there, but a nice little quick light one on your feet, get the whole body flying. But I've got to agree, Paul, my least favourite this week was the lateral shoot-throughs. I think how they were positioned after those press-ups, my shoulders were burning, and I kept kicking the radiator, and that just goes... it sent a shiver of fear through my body.
That was a tough one. There was a great one, actually, was it on Friday? There was a triple threat, and it was the star jumps, wasn't it? I'm not going to stand up here and showcase it, but there was the star jumps, and then you dropped down to do two push-ups, and then you had to do the wide Spider-Mans.
Yes.
That was brutal. I was gasping for air after that one.
I like those combos, actually.
That was a right little burner.
That was
right little burner. If I can just add in, though, Tommy, just a quick one on my side, other than everything else that we talked about there, I think part of the reason F45 is so critical to us in this climate, I know for myself, if I wasn't getting up and doing the 8 a.m. workouts for the whole of last week, and I have definitely planned to do them all for the coming week. If it wasn't for that, I wouldn't be getting out of bed at a good time. I'd be sleeping in and just, being a bit lazy and groggy and feeling a bit rubbish when I wake up. And then wouldn't be going to bed in a good time. I probably wouldn't be eating very well. But because I got the motivation to do a really good workout, and especially now we're going to use the Zoom workout that if you guys are training us, you're going to see me on the screen. I'm motivated to go to bed in good time and get a decent night's sleep. I'm motivated not to, fill my face with burgers and chocolate and crisps and stuff the night before. I'm going to try and eat something quite decent. I'm going to try to have some water and kind of hydrate myself before we get stuck into the workout. And I'm pretty sure after the workout, same as I did last week, going to have the endorphin rush and clarity of mind that's going to make me so much more productive through the day. So actually, I'm really looking forward to doing those 8 o'clock sessions every morning.
Good stuff. Well, there'll be absolutely no hiding. So you're right. There'll be, no corners to be cut. We'll be watching you every step of the way. And I got to say, I totally agree. I can't wait to get going again. I needed the rest today, definitely. But I'm all up for doing 6 again in a row next week. Can't wait.
Do you think we'll be doing any more chats like this and posting them up on our site?
I'd imagine so. I'd imagine we'll have a few. As you say, let's try and mix up the themes a little bit. We'll do some educational stuff. We'll do some challenging stuff. Some pure out silly talk stuff. They're my personal favourite. And then general chit chat, just to keep our spirits light. But so yes.
Watch this space.
Exactly. If there's anything else to add from any of you two gentlemen, the floor is yours. If not,
I'm done.
Namaste.
Until the next time.
Until the next time. Speak soon.
Cheers, guys.
See you soon.
Right.